Oh, hello, Professor HK. This is Will Kaiser. I got some notes in front of me, so if it looks like I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So for my performative essay, which was my first essay, the accounting one, I focused on making the essay less wordy in my revisions. I found that that was one of my biggest problems, like in the class, just overall. I kind of noticed this because in my second essay, I had way over the word limit. I had like 1,900 words in my draft. So basically, the way I approached it was I'm going to just don't worry about the word count or anything like that. I'm just going to write my essay and then see how I can revise it. So I went back and I couldn't figure out how to revise and get all the words out. So I had a tutor come and look at my essay. I found her to be very helpful. She helped me eliminate wordiness and all that kind of stuff. And she actually helped me realize that there are a lot of unnecessary phrases in a lot of the essays that I've written now looking back on it. Like the for examples, the for instances, they aren't always necessary. So you can just kind of cut them out in general. Just because it just adds wordiness. So and they're just additional words that don't support or go back to the thesis statement, which is something that she also pointed out to me, that every single sentence in my essays should go back to my thesis statement and help support that thesis statement, which is something that I really tried to drive home in most of my essays. She didn't just revise my paper. She taught me how to revise my paper. Because that was one of the biggest things for me, I guess. So by her teaching me how to revise my own papers, she actually helped me with she didn't help me revise it, but she helped me to see the problems and flaws in other people's papers that might have been wordiness or stuff like that. So moving on, in my first essay, I focused on revising some of my quotes. The way I did that was by paraphrasing them or eliminating them. I also expanded on what I thought the CPA, why it was credible to other people, and the revisions I made were wordiness because I did not have her help me with my first essay. So I went back in and I looked at things that might have been wordy or stuff like that. I revised some of my introductions because I found that they were kind of redundant at times. I would say that one of the strong points of my essays were my quotes, because all the people that the quotes were by had great credentials, and they all related to the topic. In my second essay about Hedda Gabler, I rewrote and I made all the changes that you made to my essay, or the feedback that I received from you. I also did that for the first essay. I changed some of the phrases to make things not as redundant, because I found that probably two parts of my essay I just kind of repeated the same thing. I introduced quotes and expanded on a few of them a little bit further. I changed a lot of the wording in the essay, and while maintaining some of the main points. I also added a quotation in there that gave the essay just a little more pop, a little more pizzazz. It solidified my quotes, basically, that could have been driven home a little harder. It was one of the quotes that I added was about Hedda Gabler. She rejected the idea of having a child throughout the essay. So I added another quote in there about her rejecting the child, or children, I guess, through the play. So that was one of the weaknesses that I found. But overall, I thought it was a solid essay. It was a good book. Read it in high school, and I reread it for this essay. And then those are the changes that I made. Thank you. I enjoyed the class, and happy holidays.